Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Gemini. Gemini, you feel very anxious. Let's do Revelations Tarot for you. Okay. Let's see what's going on for Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for Gemini. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. You're very future focused. It's about a project you want to move forward or something you want to resolve in regards to a relationship. Let's see what else is going on here for Gemini. We have the King of Swords in reverse, which is Aquarian energy, and then we have the Three of Wands. I really like this. I feel like this individual already knows that the universe is telling them to take a pause, to not push forward, to allow things to happen as they need to. I think that they're just struggling to get their logical mind to accept that. It's almost like, why isn't it happening? Where is it? Let's see what else is going on for Gemini. I don't feel this with relationships. Honestly, I feel this more just like them as an individual. Like, where am I in my life right now? Why aren't things moving forward? Yeah, Ten of Swords. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands in reverse. This is a really big transformative period for Gemini. I like this because even though they're all in reverse, this is that pause before the new beginning. Hello, my dear. You're too funny. Pookie pie. Let's clarify with Tarot Royale. The Ten of Swords tells me that this time has been like a buildup. So you might have been feeling this for the last year or the last 6 months. This energy tells me that it's on the way out, especially with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, on top of the Ten of Swords, we get the Fool. So this is leading to a brand new beginning. Anything you're holding on to right now, I highly recommend releasing it. Hello, Autumn, right? We have all my patrons coming here. This is awesome sauce. So with the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Fool, this new beginning is going to be focused on Gemini as an individual. In turn, you're going to see this trickle into your relationships. But Gemini, this is more so about you finding out what you actually want to hold on to and what you want to release right now. For a lot of you, this feels like things that are no longer in alignment with you. This could be like your habit in the day. It could be your routine. It could be your job. It can be relationships. But this is all about Gemini. This isn't about what's external to you, because as you shift, the things external to you are going to change as well. And you're going to realize what you need to let go of. Let's look at the King of Swords. There's something very unsettling about this energy. Unsettling in the sense of restless. Restless is a better way to describe it. Yeah, Ten of Wands and the Six of Cups. Some of you are really struggling to let go of connections. This feels like social groups. There's a big emphasis on social groups in the collective right now. The Six of Cups, if you're in a relationship and you're just like, I can't carry the burden of everybody else's emotions right now, you don't have to be the one that has to figure everything out and solve all the problems for everybody. This is what I mean. Like, this isn't about letting go of the relationship. This is about changing how you show up in your relationships. It's learning how to not take on everybody's stuff around you and think that you have to be the fixer, thinking that you have to heal it all. Because sometimes you're not going to know the answer, because the answer is not something external. It's something within the individual that you're trying to help, right? And you can't help that, right? They have to learn that. They have to evolve. Don't beat yourself up for not knowing things or not being able to give the answers like you normally might so easily do, because you're going through the time when you need to give yourself the answers instead of give it to everybody else. Let's look at the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, the World, King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. You know that you're seen as the one who's very reliable. You know that you're seen as the one who basically keeps everything spinning, right? With the World card, you're learning to embody this in a more healthy way versus embodying this in a distorted way. The Ace of Swords tells me that you're probably going to be setting very healthy boundaries moving forward. This is really good, because this is you no longer investing, the Seven of Pentacles, in things that are taking your energy. You're going to start investing in things that really light you up. Let's look at the Three of Wands. This is what's trying to come in for this new beginning. The Three of Wands with the Two of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Five of Swords on the top of this stack. Between the Three and the Two of Wands is an Ace of Wands energy. This feels like second guessing, honestly. This feels like, am I doing the right thing? Am I moving in the right direction with the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands? I wouldn't second guess yourself right now. You're creating more stress than you need to. If anything, remind yourself that today is the only thing that I'm focusing on. Today, I am present. Today, I am doing XYZ. Because by doing so, this uncertainty is going to fade away because you're going to become more aware of what's going on right here, right now, and what you really want to invest in, what you really want to do. And that's going to give you more clarity on what direction to move in. Let's look at this Ace of Wands for Gemini. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This feels like the savior. I feel like there's a really big savior mentality here. If you're accustomed to being the one that always heals or fixes or saves other people, you're realizing that this is taking you away from yourself. You're realizing that it's time to start something new, and you're struggling to do that because you're already looking too far ahead. You need to be here now. Bottom of the deck is the Star and then the Two of Cups. Yeah, in divine time, everything's going to come into alignment for you. And this is even about your relationships. I don't think you're going to be getting rid of intimate relationships, and I don't think you're going to be getting rid of like friends who are been there for like 10 plus years. I think this is like more recent people that you're going to be like, oh, actually, I don't want to continue this, or I don't want to really continue in this role at my job. It's going to be you sorting through habits and pieces of yourself that just aren't really flowing with you right now. This is about you. I wouldn't look to the external or try to figure out relationships or figure out work. I would look at yourself in the sense of, what do I really want right now? And if you don't know, allow yourself to be present regardless. Allow yourself to be present, because it's going to give you a lot more peace, and you're not going to sit in that ruminating energy of, where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? Because when you're present, you're going to find that out more easily. Let's go to Libra. Gemini, you have a confusing energy right now, though, because you got Mars retrograding in your sign. This creates a lot of frustration for you. So now through March is going to be a really big remaking of self. So be patient with yourself, be compassionate with yourself, because anything that is frustrating you or not in alignment with you is going to be coming to the surface right now. And you're going to have a lot of energy to attack new things, but you're going to be going through the lesson of finding the balance and how to attack it, and how to care for self, how to take your foot off the gas. All right, Libra, let's see what's going on for you. I'm going to use these two beautiful tarot decks. We have Marchetti Tarot and the Sacred Bee. Let's start with the Sacred Bee for you, Libra. Libra, you feel very High Priestess. High Priestess to me is very clairvoyant, very psychic energy. Regardless of your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Libra, I feel like you're tackling really big issues. Air signs, you're very, I felt like the previous signs we've done this week have been more focused on the relationships, whereas air signs, you feel very internal. You feel very like, let me look at the bigger picture. And that's really good for progression in your own evolution on a soul level, right? Libra, you feel almost like you're clearing away all smoke screens. Like it's like your bullshit detector is on blast. I feel like you're really starting to see the things that are meant for you and the things that are not meant for you. This feels nice. You're accepting the in-between, though. It's almost as if you know that you're not going to like speed forward right now, but it's going to be just like really slow, progressive steps. That's good. We're in Capricorn energy, guys. Things are going to move a little. They're meant to last the test of time. Okay, so whatever we're building is going to be built on a very slow, stable foundation. The Moon. This is Cancer energy. I like this. This is that very intuitive. Libra, you're probably even keeping to yourself. This doesn't feel like things you don't see. I feel like this is you exploring like the ethereal, the esoteric. You could be getting into like astrology for the first time, or diving into your family history and not really, this feels like things that other people around you might not be aware of you're tapping into. It's very intuitive, but I think you're keeping it to yourself. So if you're having aha moments in your dreams or in meditation, this is almost like, oh, I see now. I get it now. I'm not going to advertise that to other people. This is for me, I like this. Let's see what else we have for Libra. Okay, I want to shift over here. When I feel a shift in energy, this is probably what you're realizing, or this is what these realizations are going to lead you to. I heard trivial. It's almost like if you're looking at arguments, if you're looking at this just feels like, oh, this used to really irritate me, whatever, like this isn't a big deal anymore. You're seeing the bigger picture of it. I like this. Knight of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Swords. This energy feels old. It doesn't feel present anymore. I think this is what's going to be highlighted for you at this time, is learning to acknowledge when these triggers come in and release them. So with the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords, there is this argumentative energy, so me doing this reading is putting into action my feminine energy. Having the idea to go live every day at 12 was the manifestation in the present moment. You understand? So with the Two of Swords, but next to the King of Pentacles, it's almost like you realize that there was a part of you that was closed off to taking these steps forward. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is just you studying your own subconscious, your own behavior. I really like this because this is going to help you move forward. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords in reverse. You're keeping it a secret. You're not telling people about it because it's not something you're realizing. I don't need to explain everything. I don't need to advertise everything. Let me just show up in this new self and people be baffled, right? Let me surprise them. I feel this in your heart space opening. This is creating a newfound confidence in who you are. This is really nice. Let's look at the moon. Lovers. This isn't about one specific relationship. You're looking at how these parts of your own emotional self affect your relationships. And that's why it's being highlighted in your subconscious or in your intuition. This is really interesting. Let's continue for Libra. Eight of Pentacles. There you go. Yeah. And the Six of Pentacles. You're putting in a lot of work. You're like, I don't really have an expectation that people are going to give back to me. You're realizing that if you want to receive things, you're going to have to put in the effort to show up as that same energy, right? So if you want wealth and you want prosperity, are you showing up every day, putting in the effort that matches that energy, right? The amount of wealth you have in your mind, what kind of effort do you think is correlated with that? Are you putting that out there, right? The kind of love that you want to receive, are you giving it in return? And you're starting to realize the parts of you that were like, oh my gosh, I want this love, but I might be too rigid, or I might be too stern. I'm not as loving and sweet as the very loving and sweet energy that I want to receive. I am momentarily, but maybe not on a consistent basis. And so those are the things that you're starting to see. Oh, okay. I understand why, even though I'm working really hard for this, it's not coming back to me, because there's a little discrepancy going on with the energy that you're putting out. Let's look at the Knight of Swords. For Libra, it's like when I go to say your name, though, it's almost like you want to hide behind the two other air signs. It's almost like, don't let them know that I'm here. Don't tell them what I'm doing. Just let this. It's not really Hermit. It's very High Priestess. You want to stay hidden right now, which is nice. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. You're like, just let me do my thing. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing, because I'm starting to find who I am. I'm starting to discover a part of me that I really am falling in love with. And the Nine of Pentacles is someone who feels really stable, really confident. But in this particular Nine of Pentacles, she's wearing the mask, right? And she has the hawk, the eagle, right? This energy is of a higher consciousness energy. These birds in general, represent seeing things from a higher perspective, being closer to the veil and looking down. So there is this depiction of knowing that you want to be hidden. You want to focus on your own stability, your own confidence, your own identity, right? Let's look at this Eight of Swords now. Three of Swords in reverse. Between the 8 and the 3, we have a Five of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, you're really going back and reflecting on the times you've been betrayed or hurt or stabbed in the back, however you want to put it. With that Three of Swords, you're going through a really deep healing, but it might be really taking over your mind right now with the Eight of Swords. This is the card of ruminating. It's the mind's prison. And with the Ace of Pentacles, by allowing yourself to address this, you are moving into a very stable foundation, a stable version of yourself, because you're no longer ignoring the pain, ignoring the hurt. You're allowing yourself to see it unbiasedly. And by doing so, you're being very honest with yourself and what needs to be addressed. Let's look at this King of Pentacles, how you're struggling, or how you were struggling. Yeah, Five of Swords in reverse, Four of Cups. You acknowledge the hurt, the pain, the betrayal. You open your heart. You do the healing. You move forward. You're realizing that by holding on to this energy of defeat or a lack mentality, because the fives to me are just about the lowest of the low in the suit. So that's why I say the Five of Swords is also a lack mentality. It's the inner critic. And with the King of Pentacles, you're realizing that this is what was stopping you from moving forward because your heart wasn't open to receiving energies outside of defeat, right? So if you're building a business, it's like, oh, this isn't going to be successful. Now you're realizing, oh shit, I can't think that way. If I want to be successful, I need to really tell myself I'm a boss. Like, I run this shit and it's going great and I'm successful and I believe in myself and I'm attracting high paying clients. And right, it's shifting the mindset into that different mentality because the perspective influences the energy that you're putting out and the universe is going to answer that. Okay. This feels more about the things that you're building and how you relate to people. That's why it's not specifically relationships, because it feels business oriented. Because if this is how you communicate with others or show up, you're learning to step more into this very regal leader role that's also nurturing, because a high priestess is very nurturing. But they're going to cut right through the BS. Let's look at the Two of Swords piece. The Fool, Eight of Swords in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse, King of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Wands. Here comes in this newfound determination to go after what you want to build, right? You're going very within. This feels like almost like sacred ceremony, this particular Two of Swords. It's, hello, my dear. It's known as the, it's known, the Two of Swords is known as the closed heart space and not seeing everything. But with the energy that's going on here, this feels like that sacred space of like almost like, no, you're not allowed in this. Like, this is where I'm going to be for myself today. And please don't interfere with this, right? It's like you're creating a shield around you so you can build this new beginning. And this is the newfound determination with the Five of Wands, because you're realizing I'm not going to repeat the past. I'm not going to stay in my mind and not give myself the recognition that I deserve to move forward, right? Because you realize that you were not honoring the parts of you that love to build this relationship or this business or this hobby or express yourself in that way. You're allowing your masculine energy to step forward with just as much confidence as your feminine. So let's look at the Page of Swords, why you're choosing to keep it a secret. I feel like this is more so you just like, I need to be with myself right now. That's a really good place to be. Knight of Wands and the Sun. Yeah, you're just like, I'm not going to tell anybody because I'm really determined. I'm really ambitious. And I know that if I share these ideas with anybody, I don't want external energy in it. But like, let's talk about this in regards to manifestation. If you have an idea or something that really lights you up and you really, really, really want to tell like your best friend about it or a family member about it, but you know they're going to impose their own ideas or their own beliefs on it, maybe that is your intuition telling you, hey, don't share this energy that's so sacred to you with other people, because then you're allowing other energy, other influences into that sacred space. So if you're trying to manifest this abundance, but this person's like, that's not going to work for them. Now you're attracting that attached to your belief, right? Attached to whether you're aware of it or not. You have people like sending like malice basically in a sense toward you, or a lack of momentum forward. You know what I'm saying? So if it's something you really believe in and something you're really excited about, as much as you really want to tell other people, I feel like this is coming to the awareness that not everything has to be celebrated in groups. I can celebrate this on my own and it's going to be really, really successful. And I think that's why you're keeping it a secret. This Knight of Wands energy is just very ambitious. It's very soul driven. And with the Sun, you know that it's going to be prosperous. It's going to bring you money. It's going to bring you wealth. It's going to be all these things that you've been looking for. And this is all about you moving forward. I really like this. Ending energy, bottom of the deck, is the Two of Cups. You're coming into alignment with yourself. You're coming into true alignment with yourself. And that's what happens when we start to explore our own subconscious, our own intuition, our own abilities. So congratulations, Libra. I'm excited for you. Let's get into Aquarius, right? Let's see what's going on for Aquarius. Did I just mix these two decks? I don't think so. Aquarius, I think I'm going to, I always find Aquarius not, I think I'll use the same decks for you. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what's going on for Aquarius. I'm going to start with Machete Tarot though. If you do get this tarot deck, I'd highly recommend being very careful when you shuffle it, because that wasn't the first time with my first deck and I completely destroyed the gilded edges because they peel really easily. All right. Let's see what's going on for Aquarius. Let's see what's going on for Aquarius. King of Swords. You're very similar to Libra. No wonder we held on to the same decks. It's almost like, it doesn't feel like a don't fuck with me energy, but it feels like I see you. It's like this very masculine, I see you. It's like that bullshit radar again. And the King of Swords is Aquarian energy for me as a reader. I like this. It feels a little more stern though. It does feel secretive, but I feel like this is the kind of person who like sits in the back of a room, listens to everybody talk out of nowhere. They're like, no, homie, you're full of shit. That's not true. She's right. You know, that's what it feels like. It feels like that person who sits in the corner in silence and out of nowhere just is like, I see everything for what it is. 8 of Wands in reverse. This is an observer. Hierophant in reverse and the 2 of Cups. It's a very interesting energy. With the Hierophant in reverse and the 8 of Wands, we'll get into it in a second. The 2 of Cups is what's a bit contradicting to it, but I get it though. I feel like it's almost someone that's, this is a really hard thing to explain sometimes. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it because it's more of a feeling. It's not like a lesson or something. It's more of a feeling when you're really connected to something, right? When you're really connected, really in alignment with it. But you're like, nah, I don't really want to partake in that right now. This is somebody who's pushed on the gas and they're like, let me come back to myself. So when I do move forward in regards to my commitments, in regards to the Hierophant energy, I'm moving forward in true alignment with it. So this is why that bullshit radar is so like really high, because this individual is aware of even their own bullshit. They're like, oh, okay, well, I'm not really moving in alignment with the things that are in alignment with me, like with this purpose that I have, right? With this craft, with this art, with this job, or with this relationship. I'm not in alignment per se with it, but I still am, because the lack of alignment is due to action. It's a lack of action toward it. So this person might be really pulling within. They're making the choice to do that, to more so focus on their own feminine energy. And that makes sense because this came up as very rigid, very cutting, like calling people out in a way that was almost like antagonistic. And I think that they're aware that right now they shouldn't be moving forward per se in regards to something external to them, but they need to look at their own energy and realize that it's time to be more in this very nurturing, feminine, stable, present energy, right? I feel like this person is working on a victim mentality, or working on like, ooh, everybody's against, not like against me, but feeling like everything's a competition. Being from New Jersey, like I grew up north, that mentality was almost like drilled into us growing up. And I'm just speaking from my own perspective. If you have a different experience, that's perfectly fine. And that's your personal experience. But I know for me, when I lived up north, it was almost like that dog eat dog world, you know? And you're just like, you walk through a store and everybody has this mean mug on their face. But then I live down south now, and everybody opens the door for freaking everybody down here, you know? Hello, my dear. And then it's this energy of learning to balance those two things, like that very rigid masculine that was ingrained and programmed into you from an environment, and learning that, oh wait, there's another way of being and moving in the world. And if I want to continue on my soul's path, I need to learn to integrate these two aspects evenly. And that's kind of what this person's going through. And that's why their new beginnings, not necessarily delayed, but it's almost like, I'm going to take this new beginning and put it here, because before I step into it, I really want to perfect this balance of myself. I was like, what is that sound? It was somebody outside. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Wands in reverse. And the 9 of Wands in reverse is someone who's like, I need a breather, right? They've been going really hard. Upright is someone who's like consistently going and moving forward. But in reverse, it's this energy of, okay, I can't keep pushing right now. I need to take a break. I need to take a breather. Some readers take it as the card of like, ooh, they're giving up on this. To me, that really depends on what's around them. I don't think that they're giving up. It feels more of like a break. And then I know that word can be triggering, because some people are like, oh my gosh, is my person going to ask for a break with me? It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like if they're spending more time alone, or if they're spending more time focused on a hobby or a project, they're doing it because it allows them to connect more to the very present, creative, feminine energy versus the very business-minded, forward-moving masculine. So let's look at the King of Swords. Clarified by the King of Swords in reverse. Sorry, King of Wands in reverse. This makes sense with that calling out energy. A King of Wands can come off very aggressive when it's in reverse. Upright, it's very passionate, it's very creative, it's very I want to go, I want to build. There's sexy, right? There's sex appeal, there's this attraction. And in reverse with a King of Swords, it can come off just as very aggressive. It's fire energy. It's like, don't try and tell me that I'm wrong. This could come across as someone with like a really big ego at times, or someone who's a little overly confident in what they're saying, and or they say it with overconfidence even if they are right. There's that lack of awareness of you can be right and you don't have to have an overconfidence in what you're speaking on, right? You don't have to bash somebody down with your words. And that's why we say that anything in excess is poison to the body, right? So let's look at this Eight of Wands. And that's where that competitive vibe comes from, though. Yeah, Ten of Cups in reverse. They know that what they're moving toward is something that they need to surrender to, and they really do love it. They really do love it. With the Five of Wands, though, they're not willing to put in that like energy into the new beginning quite yet with the Ace of Wands. Between the Five and the Ace is a Four of Wands in reverse. This is their awareness that if they were to build on this new beginning right now, the foundation would be faulty because they wouldn't be putting the proper energetic foundation into it. They'd be putting this very like sassy, aggressive energy into it, and it needs the balance of the masculine and feminine to be stable, right? Everything has two ends of the spectrum, and this person's trying to perfect their own individual spectrum. So everything that is built upon it is also in balance, right? To the best of their ability at this time. Let's look at the Hierophant. Eight of Cups. Yeah, they're walking away. This is emotional disconnect. So if you're feeling like somebody in your life is distant from you, or you're becoming distant from people or projects that you really care for, this is the break. It's kind of like I said before, not like we're taking a break, but it's just like someone's just coming back to themselves. They're like, I'm going to walk away from this for a second. And when they return, they might feel completely different, because this is also about them breaking an emotional contract with themselves, realizing I no longer want to move or behave in this way. Okay, let's get one more. Okay, let's just go to the Two of Cups. Yep, there it is. So then we have the Wheel of Fortune upright and the Page of Swords in reverse. This is where it's very similar to the Libra reading. They're very aware that they're going through this internal change, and it's almost like they want to keep it a secret. And so if you're like, what's wrong, or talk to me, or blah, 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 and they're like, nothing. It's because to them, it's just more so this internal feeling. It's nothing to really verbalize. It feels more so like, sometimes I can articulate what it is, but other times it's just kind of like I'm flowing and I know something's changing inside of me and I'm just not fully aware of it yet, but I'm trying to study and understand it. And that's that examination of the King of Swords energy. But they know that it's the right thing to do because their intuition is telling them so. Let's look at this Two of Pentacles. So we have the Fool in reverse. They're surrendering. That's why it might be hard for them to articulate what it is. They're in a place of really trying to surrender to what's unfolding instead of trying to dictate and control it. Because masculine energy with the King and Queen of with the King of Swords and a King of Wands in reverse is very business minded, but they're also very forceful. There's someone who likes to lead. There's someone who likes to be in control. And that's why tapping into this feminine energy is going to teach them and help them to be more receptive to what's coming their way. Let's look at the Queen of Pentacles. So we have the Hierophant in reverse, and then we have Temperance. Yeah, so they're going through healing the old emotional contracts they had, but they're doing it with their feminine energy. They're learning to be compassionate and nurturing to themselves, right? They're learning to honor the fact that, okay, moving in this way has gotten me up to this point, but now that I'm up to this point, I need to implement new tools, because where I'm about to go, I can't build everything I want to build with the tools I have now. And it's that understanding that is helping them connect more with the feminine, to go within, to look at themselves, to be compassionate and nurturing, and build things that allow them to feel safe and secure. So this need to control starts to fade away because they believe more in themselves and their ability to pick people to be in their lives and to pick projects to invest in. That's what the feminine helps with. So that's why Temperance is showing up. Let's look at the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. They're understanding that this isn't going to happen overnight. This is going to be a very slow process. And that's good, because it's like when people try to lose weight really fast and then they wonder why it comes back on right away. You know, when you do it in a slower process, your body, your energy, your mind, your environment gets to adapt to those changes. But if you do them so suddenly, it's almost like, whoa, what's going on here? And you wonder why maybe it's a little turbulent throughout sitting in that new energy. It's because it never really had time to slowly acclimate to it. And that's what they're doing in their own sense of stability, their own identity with this Nine of Pentacles energy. It's a large increase in their confidence. I like this. They're probably going to start bringing in new hobbies. It doesn't feel like getting a new job and things like that. Some of you will be, but I think that's going to be associated with a move. If you do get a new job, it's going to be moving to a different place. If you're in a partnership, that person's going to come with you. It just might be a little bumpy because they're going to need time to acclimate to the idea of that change as well, just as you have taken this time to acclimate to your own change. Now, for those of you where this is more internal, just emotional, and it doesn't have to do with a job or a move, I do think that it's just that recognition of, okay, I need to allow myself to really believe that I'm capable of X, Y, Z. And that's why you're allowing yourself to have this time. This is going to happen through March. These next few weeks of readings are just going to be telling us where we're currently at on this forward momentum into March. Let's look at the Nine of Wands in reverse. I wouldn't be shocked if your dream space is really active right now too. So then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you're taking a break because you don't want to be impulsive. Knight of Wands in reverse is very impulsive, very scattered energy, and you want a very stable foundation. So you're not going to build something that is scattered. You're not going to go invest in things that are just not certain, not sure. And that's smart because this individual in the past probably realized that they had a very impulsive behavior, that they would just throw their energy at things and try to build it, and it wasn't working, right? And they're realizing now that, okay, let me think of a practical plan. And going into the new moon in Capricorn we have on December 22nd, this is a perfect example of that energy of learning to, because the new moon in Capricorn is going to help us really build very practical, very long-term foundations for the future. So if you want to do something on a global scale, like start a social platform, or if you want to really commit to a relationship or commit to breaking a habit of any sort, that is a great time to set that intention and to really take action on that intention, because Capricorn is legacy energy. It's long-term energy. It's things that last the test of time. It's a 10 of Pentacles for me as a reader. It's a very methodical energy. So it's a great time to sit down, to make a plan, and to take slow, methodical steps towards executing that plan and being successful with it. But this takes routine, it takes diligence, it takes focus. And that's what Capricorn's about. So Aquarius, this is what I have for you. Your ending overall energy is the Knight of Swords. You're going to start attacking things with a lot more clarity because you're taking this break. And that's what's going to help you move forward and in the direction of your soul's path. But very, very nice. Air signs, this is what I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for being part of this live. And if you want access to the New Moon in Capricorn live reading, that's part of Patreon. Go ahead, check that out. We do readings for every moon cycle, any major transits we have. We do pick a card readings on there, bi-weekly readings for each zodiac sign individually, not in like an element format. So if you want access to content like that, as well as meditations and energy healing, that's the platform for you. And like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you see when I go live. And the thumbs up helps the channel grow, so I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.